Okay, welcome to the Tunji Offeyi show. And today our guest is no other person than the one and only Princess Iyabo Olajubu, fantastic singer, businesswoman. Welcome to the show, Princess. How do you do today?
Fine, Tunji. I'm so delighted to be with you on your beautiful show. Thanks for having me around.
Glad, interesting. So without wasting any further time, we had a little hiccups today, but it does happen, not to worry. So can you please tell us a little about yourself, Princess, just to start with?
Yeah. My name is Princess Iyabo Olajubu. I'm the daughter to the late regent, the singing regent, Olajubu, popularly known as Batamiadun Kokoka. I am a businesswoman and a singer.
Quite a lot to deal with, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a lot to deal with.
Sure. So
Combining
music,
combining
yeah.
business with music,
Mhm.
it's not a very easy task.
Sure. So music or business, which one do you prefer?
Pardon?
Music or business, which is your first love? Yeah.
Well, music has always been my love, even since I was a very little girl. And I'm born into a music family. My mom was a renowned until his death was a renowned singer and musician. So I grew up loving music. It has always been a part of me.
Sure.
So
Aside from your mom, does anyone else sing in your family, Princess?
we have sing in the family. Most of us in the family sing. My younger brother sings. The youngest of us sing. My immediate younger brother sings. Even in my mother's family too, some of our siblings sing too. And according to what she told me, our father, the late king, used to be a very good singer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my next question, actually. You were born into royalty. Your grandfather was a king. Your mom at the time was a regent. So, and plus all this other fame, that other side to her, combined together, do people expect too much from you coming from such a very rich pedigree? Does it put pressure on you as a person growing up?
Yeah, it does. Because a lot of people expect too much from me. For instance, even when I'm broke, people don't believe that I'm broke, because they feel I'm from such a renowned family and I should be in money. Even in the music industry too, I've met people who feel, oh, she has money, let's just extort money from her. So a lot of people expect a lot from me from time to time. Sometimes
So,
it's positive and sometimes it's negative.
so how did you deal with the negative side, for instance?
The negative side, I just try to be very careful. Then the positive side, I embrace it because it also opens greater doors for me.
Quite interesting. So, do people expect you to be the next Bumi Olajubu or something just like that overnight? And it's
Yes.
anything of
People expect me to be the next Bumi Olajubu overnight. Even they expect me to even do more than Bumi Olajubu. But I believe in God and I believe in where God is taking me. With my hard work and seriousness, I believe I'm going to get somewhere. I am not how to compete with my mother. I'm only how to wear my mother's bigger shoes that she left behind for me. So
I like the word when you say you know how to compete with your mother. That's a phrase I actually like to, emphasize here. Because today now the world is changing. You even see parents sometimes they are not supportive of their children enough, and it does look like everybody's into some rivalry. that shouldn't be, even blood people we are talking about here. Do you have you noticed anything like observe anything like that in that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're very correct. You're very correct. But it has to do with upbringing. When you're well raised and you have a lot of morals imparted into you, there are certain decisions you don't make in life. I was well raised. I grew up in royalty and we're well raised. So I don't see my mom as my competitor. I only see my mom as someone who has left a legacy behind for me, which I'm trying to put on I call it bigger shoes because those shoes are too big for me. I am nowhere to compete with my mom. My mom was a fantastic singer. So I'm just trying to wear her bigger shoes, like I'm trying to say, like I'm trying to tell you. And I believe I will get somewhere someday.
sure. Okay, that brings me to my next question. Actually, I see you, maybe the daughter everybody prays for. You're making all the effort to keep your mom's legacy alive, and that brought you to sing, do a remix of a song, Nitori. So, what informed that, and why Nitori? Because I mean, come to think of it, your mom has a very large discography, a large pool to choose from. So why did you choose this one in particular? And say not,
Yeah,
for instance, not Batami Adun Koko that everybody knows.
yeah, Nitori. When you listen to the lyrics of Nitori, Nitori is a prayer song and it's quite inspirational, you
Tell
know.
me about it.
And
Yeah.
that was my mother's first song. That was the first song my mom ever produced in her lifetime. And I wanted to pay my mom a tribute before coming into music industry. So I decided to do a remix of Nitori, irrespective of the fact that I have a lot of songs written by myself. I have a lot of songs already made, but I decided to just pay my mom a tribute, honor her, and accord the respect she deserves before trying to wear those shoes.
Those larger than life shoes.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
that was it mustn't be easy. So are you you mentioned the word spiritual now that the song is spiritual. Are you spiritual yourself? Because for the song to attract you, you consider yourself a spiritual being?
Well, I'm not in the right position to rate myself for being spiritual or not. Only God can say that. But I believe in God, and I grew up in a Baptist home, you know, and we had a kind of foundation, a Christian foundation, which I still embraced till date. So I think to an extent, I'm a Christian and I'm spiritual to an extent.
Okay. We're getting there, and this question just popped into my head now. I think I shouldn't let it go. So, being the daughter of Batami Adun Kokoka, a creator and exponent, because this is a song when all of us were even growing up. If you don't read your book, they will say your bataya washerenle, like in Yoruba for those who don't sing, mean your shoe, you're gonna be like you're wearing slippers. So that hint commanding no respect. So they tell you don't want your bata to wash your renile, then you have to read. So the teachers now put more pressure on you, like maybe like make you stay back when everybody's going home. Like your mother said, you have to face your book, so you have to do it. Does it have
Yeah.
more pressure? That particular song.
Yeah, I was a very little girl when that song was released, and it made a lot of positive impact on me academically. Because
Mhm.
being a daughter of, and I think I'm lucky to be, I'm not going to say averagely brilliant, but I'm going to flaunt this. I'm sorry. I'm lucky to be a very brilliant student, you know. So
Fluffy. That's fine. Yeah.
yeah, because a lot of my schoolmates can testify to that, because I was excellently doing well with my academics. And by the time the song was released, it made more positive impact in me. And and people kept on expecting more from me. Diligence, seriousness when it has to do with my studies. I mean, in general, morals. So I was like a center of attraction, for my classmates, because some of them, each time some of them were even fond of singing that song whenever maybe I don't do well. Maybe we have just had a test and I didn't score well. Some of my friends in secondary school used to make fun of me by singing Bataria, oh. So it was a great encouragement to me.
Sure. It would be to anybody, especially someone in your position. So I was actually thinking that you are from Ekiti State, right? Am I correct?
Yes, I am.
So Ekiti people probably have the largest percentage of professors in Nigeria, maybe them and Ondo State combined. So
yes,
yeah,
yes, you're right.
people
You're
like
right.
books. So do you think that was the reason your mom composed that song, from coming from the academic environment, community sort of?
Well, I think as at the time my mom composed that song, she must have made some research and must have discovered that some people were not taking, especially in some region of Nigeria, some people were not taking academics very seriously, you know. So I'm not going to say she sang it because of the Ekiti influence that has to do with academics. No, I'm not going to say that. But I think she must have realized that some part of the country were not very serious with academics. But that song was promoted all over Nigeria. So I think that must have been the reason why she comes. She just needed to encourage people to send their children to school.
Also,
irrespective of where you're coming from, whether you're from Ekiti or you're from Hondo, we all need to go to school. Education is very important. It's a necessity for everyone.
Quite right, not negotiable. I also noticed
it's not negotiable.
I also noticed the song has been redone, remixed, if we can, whichever way we want to put it up. And especially, I saw one by the Nigerian Yoruba Nollywood artist. Did you see that particular one?
Yes, I did.
Did they take a permission from you? That's why I'm driving.
I did not get any permission from them.
Yeah. I just had an instinct that probably they just picked this song. Did they really?
They just picked the song and used the song without even the family. My mom's family is seriously doing something about that, because they did not take any permission from. I am I own my mother's copyright, benefit right now that she's late. I think I'm the right person anyone can come to take permission from if that song should be used, because it is stated clearly that I own the copyright ownership, but they did not even contact me, irrespective of the fact that I knew some of the people, some of the people that sang those songs, I know them, but we were not contacted. But I wouldn't like to discuss that on air. Okay. I think that should be a private discussion with you.
Sure, fair enough. I just thought, like I said, it was just something that came out of instinct. Because I know it's a bit common in that part of the world where people just take people's works and
the people abuse other people's intellectual assets,
Yeah, it's an asset.
Yes, they abuse it because they felt the woman was late and all they could do was just to. And it's even more it's even more embarrassing that the people who did this were a group of artists who should understand what is meant by copyright ownership. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's even more embarrassing. We were not contacted because I'm in touch with Polygrams. I'm in touch with all the companies that produced my mom. I'm in touch with them. You understand? So I am sure if they were contacted, they would have contacted me as well.
Sorry to hear that. Let's see the step your family are taking. Let's see how it goes. And I wish you luck. I see this is working you up, so we're gonna slow it down now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yes.
something I don't even like to remember because
Mm,
I mean, it's so annoying. Let me just put it out.
sure, it should do. But anyway, let's just put that on the side, like you said. It will sort itself out with the steps. Hopefully, with the steps you are taking and your family. And I wish you
Yeah.
good luck in that. So at this point on the Tunji Offeyi show, this is where we get to take a little relaxation, and then whenever we have a musician, we get them to give us a special number. So over to you, Princess, whichever number you want to do for us. Yeah, it's your call now. All right.
Okay. Let me do Ayele for you.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. The title of the song is Ayele. It simply means this world is vicious. Ilé ayé ilé, ilé ayé ilé, ilé ayé máa ṣòro. Ilé ayé, ilé ayé, ilé ayé ṣòro. Bàbá ń fọmọ rẹ̀ ṣẹ̀ṣọ́ nítorí afẹ́ ayé. Ìyá ń fọmọ rẹ̀ dájọ́ o nítorí agbára ni. Ilé ayé o àfọwọ́bá fi sílẹ̀ ló já sí ara mi o. Ilé ayé o, ilé ayé o, ayé le koko. Thank you. Let me stop there.
All right. I see. You're getting into the groove. Thank you for such a
Yeah.
scintillating performance at a short notice. It's in the DNA, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you.
It runs in the blood, so no need for rehearsal. I see.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too. Okay, so that actually brings me to my next question, Haile. While I was listening to that song, it was very touching to me. It's a song that I really connected with on a philosophical level. So, as said, what's Princess trying to say here? Does she have the spirit of clairvoyance? How come she could see where Nigeria is heading in the years to come? Not even long to come now, a few years just ahead after you did the song. Nigeria has gone worse from all you sang about in that particular track. So how does that make you feel as someone who's already tried to do something about it, but unfortunately it's getting worse, Princess?
Well, I am not surprised at that song because my songs are somehow very prophetic, proverbial, philosophical, and very educative. I do not get inspiration to write worldly songs. I write very moralistic songs, you know.
Mhm.
So, and I want to believe that it is an inspiration from God. Perhaps God was just using me to preach what I mean to preach ahead what we're actually facing now in the country.
Mm. So when God gave you the inspiration, did you think if you sang about it, that would just be it? Maybe that will, create some change in the heart of men? But that's clearly not work. Don't you think so? Do you feel disappointed?
Well, somehow, because uh, music is spiritual, and we believe that when we sing such songs, it should make some changes in people. I mean, people should realize where they are going wrong. But unfortunately, the hearts of men are so hardened. But we keep preaching to them. We keep writing good songs. We're not going to give up
Sure.
because I believe it's still making some positive impacts of some positive changes in some other people. Not everybody, but I believe some other people must have been touched by the lyrics of that song.
So it's more a case of those who have here, let them hear.
Yes, it's something like that. something like that.
Okay. So in your, I also noticed some, there's this little dichotomy, this little differences in your choice of music. In Nitori was very fast tempo, very modern, urban, swave and all that. But if you compare that to Ayele, it's a contrast. Ayele is set in the, in the maybe 1800s, if I can, yeah. So how do you, switch from modern music then suddenly to something very traditional?
My inspiration comes in various forms. I have songs that are disco. I have songs that are traditional. I have songs that are just pop, you know. So it depends on the kind of inspiration I get. Initially, I wanted Ayele to be a kind of a cappella. I
Mhm.
didn't even want drums or any kind, much instrument in it. But my producer played around it, and we realized that if you make it like a kind of orchestrated, you know,
Yeah.
African kind of orchestrated music, that
Mhm.
it's really going to, and it ended up coming out really nice.
Yeah.
Because when you listen to the music, I mean the soundtrack of the song, you understand what I'm talking about. It's really, really touching. It's very, very touching.
Yeah. I think that was a brilliant suggestion, and it was amazing you also accepted the idea and it worked
Yeah.
out. And last question on Naile. I know I'm dragging this too much on Naile, but it's a very, it's an epic work. So that maybe perhaps that's the reason I keep on asking you about it. So the background, was that like in Ekiti State or somewhere else in Nigeria? And why did you try to sing Hausa, Yoruba in the same song? I just put the question together like that. Over to you.
Okay, that song, we produced the video in Abuja,
Oh,
somewhere in Abuja. Somewhere, a location called, a settlement called Wuye,
Rocky Settlement. It must be real.
Rocky settlement called Wuye in
Okay.
Abuja. That's where the video was shot. And
Okay.
the Hausa version, I speak Hausa. I've been in the north for several years.
No.
And I wanted to pass a message across to the northerners as well. I wish I could even pass it to other languages, but I stopped at Hausa. So that's why I decided to make an Hausa version of Ayini.
I think it all play out for good together, and it could also as well pass for as a song of unity, to call
Yes.
them, yeah, side by side. This is what we don't have in present day Nigeria, unfortunately. Hopefully, we'll get there. I don't want to bore too much about Nigeria's problems. Yeah. So, yeah, at some point, Princess, you did mention to the press that you want to do it big and you intend to take your music globally. Any tours in plan? What steps are you taking towards achieving what you promised us you're going to do,
You
what you
know,
plan?
I have made some contacts internationally, and as of last year, I was supposed to start a tour in Spain, but unfortunately, the coronavirus pandemic, stopped us from moving forward. But hopefully, I'm going to get there. I still have that plan.
Sure, no doubt. So, as an artist, how have you coped during the pandemic time? Or was it that you switched to business, or how did you cope? Because a lot of artists really went through hell. Yeah.
Well, I've always been a business person, you know. So music has been a kind of a part-time thing for me. I think you should be asking me how did I cope with business during the pandemic, because
Okay.
they because it granted everything, both musically and business wise. All I was doing during the pandemic was writing songs because it was a sober state. Because I found myself in a very sober state, and I came to a realization that this world is nothing. So I wrote a lot of songs, you know, because I often write my songs based on my mood, based on the things that are happening around me. That's where I get my inspiration from.
That's quite thoughtful of you, and was a good response to a bad situation, if I can say
Yeah.
it that way. Yeah, and did that affect your mental health in any way? Because mental health is a very serious issue all over the world now.
I think it affected everybody. It affected everybody. It was a very terrible, it was a very terrible situation. So unprepared for. We never, nobody ever anticipated that the whole world could go into such a sober state. So it was, I think it affected me, but with prayers and music, I was able to cope because all I needed to do was just singing and writing songs whenever I feel down or depressed over the situation at that time.
Mm. Wow, that's thoughtful as well. So that we're getting towards to the end of this show gradually. So they say funny how time flies when you're having fun, isn't it? Yeah. So I wanted to know that did you think you made a mistake? Because I know your late mom, we're coming a bit back to the late regent now, was a traditionalist. So maybe that affected your decision of not announcing her death or her passing in time. Do you then think that was might be a mistake that probably fueled some unwanted speculations, rumors flying? Do you think there was a mistake on your part or your family's part in that regard?
Well, I don't think I see it as a mistake because when you talk of tradition, there's no mistake because the major cause of not or restricting the announcement of my late mother's death was because her mom was alive. And as at the time my mom died, she was in Germany on a medical trip. So the family did not want to have two dead bodies. That's why we were warned not to broadcast her death. And traditionally, she was also supposed to be buried according to the traditional rites.
So does in terms of the rumors that was flying around that time, how did you deal with that? Do you think you should have acted sooner in that aspect now? So to leave.
Well, when you talk of rumors and derogatory comments about celebrities, is something I think we're used to. It has always been in existence. Even when my mom was alive, a lot of things were said about her that were not true. So I'm not bothered about that. We appreciate them. Those who say good things about her, we love them. And those that say bad things about her, we still love them. It means nothing to me. I'm not bothered about it because you don't expect everybody to like somebody. Not everybody will love me. Not everybody will love you. When some people are praising you, some people will say nasty things about you just to tarnish your image. So to me, it's nothing. It's allowed. It's part of
Wow.
fame.
So could it be a case of Hosanna today, crucifixion tomorrow?
That is how it is.
Mm.
When you're famous, that is how it is. A lot of things were said about my mom, even when she was alive. She was always in the paper. You see that they say she was dating this person or she was dating that person, all sorts of things were written about her. And some people still talk about those things till tomorrow, they'll still talk about it. And I'm not in position to convince them. I don't have to convince anybody. I don't have to convince anyone to have a change of mind on what they already believed. It's just part of it. It makes you more popular.
It comes with the territory, right?
Pardon?
It comes with the territory.
Yes, comes with it. Then comes with all sorts of things.
Wow. So there you are to young people out there who are going to be watching this. If you're thinking about being famous, so you have to be prepared, come armed, and be ready to take all the, the arrows fired at.
Yes, because the same people that are saying nasty things about you probably are still going to be the same people that will praise you tomorrow. So you don't need to fight them. Just don't need to fight them.
Okay, I see that you, like your mom, you're into intellectual songs, deep songs, you know. But I like to know if the price is right, Princess. Will you be tempted to do something commercial? Is that a possibility?
Yes, why not? I'll be delighted to do that. In as much as it is not vulgar.
It's not vulgar. But how about if it's sexy? It's, as they say nowadays. Is that something you'll be comfortable with?
There's decent sexy. There's indecent sexy. So I don't know which one you're talking about, Tunji.
I like that. You made me, you
There's
made me laugh.
decent sexy and there's indecent sexy.
Wow, that's some new definition I'm hearing today.
Yeah. So
That's
it
quite deep.
makes me feel responsible. Why not? I'll be happy to embrace it.
Okay, that's another. I'm gonna. That's a new concept out there, and I'll have to research that or, try and see what I can do with that. Decent, sexy. That's according to Princess
Yeah.
Olajubu. Okay, really interesting. All right, Princess. In 5 years' time, where do you see yourself?
Well, I see myself doing better than I am now because one of the restrictions I've had in the past is because my children were growing and I needed to be a good mother to my children. Now they are all grown up, so I think I have much freedom now to do better music and get more focused musically. So I see myself flying higher than where I am in the next 5 years.
So when you say you have more freedom now, was it like when you're a parent? I'm a parent myself, but my little one is still small. Is it like being in a prison or something? Sorry to use that word, because you said freedom.
Yeah, yeah, because when we're in a society whereby children need a lot of guidance from their parents, especially here in Nigeria. So you need to scrutinize your children, you need to guide them, you need to pay them attention, you need to make sure that they are doing the right things. And if you're not there, how do you know all this? So I needed to concentrate on my children because they are more important than anything I have in this world because they are my future. If my mom didn't raise me well, you wouldn't be talking to me. I mean, you wouldn't be inviting me today to have a talk with me. So I see my children as a priority, and they will always be my priority. But what I'm trying to say is that they are all grown up now. I've raised them to an extent whereby I have no fear. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah.
So that creates an opportunity for me to chase my dream and make it a reality.
I get you. So it's been a sacrifice worth it, and I want to thank you for being a good mother in this world where a lot of people are selfish now. Everybody just want to do their own thing, and I don't want to drag into that, but there's a little case in the UK of recent where by a young mother left the child, a little girl, in the flat and went to London from another city to party for
Yeah.
6. By the time she came back, the baby is, of course, the result is gone, unfortunately. So this is the world we are now. We don't want to drag you into that, but I just thought I'd share this with my fans as well. Please, if you
Yeah.
watch this, is try and emulate the like of Princess. She's not just a musician, but she's a fantastic role model, mother, and inspiration to our generation and to all of us. We're really glad to have you on our show today, Princess Olajubu. And we hope to have you another time whenever we have any question to ask you about any issues. And for you, I would like you to sign off out of this show because we have come to the end of the show. Fortunately and unfortunately, because This has been an interesting interview. So to round up the show, we'd like you to give us your mom's classic, Batara Kokoka, the performance. You can just sing us out of the show, Princess. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Eko dára púpọ̀, eko ló láyé táwa yìí sẹ́. Eko ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá, eko ló ń gbé ní débi gíga. Ẹ̀làkùn yẹ̀yìn òbí wa, sábà lówó kẹjọ kẹtàn wa. Bàtà rẹ̀ dùn kókóká. Bàtà rẹ̀ dùn kókóká tó bá kàwé rẹ̀. Bàtà rẹ̀ dùn kókóká. Iyabo kàwé rẹ̀. Bàtà rẹ̀ dùn kókóká tó bá kàwé rẹ̀. Bàtà rẹ̀ wọṣẹ́ rere nílẹ̀.
Thank you.
Thank you too.